Yo guys, welcome back to another Five Nights Star Defense video, and today I've got a pretty special video that I've been waiting on for quite a while. We are going to be checking out the full Season 1 exclusive presents team versus the full Season 2 exclusive present team. So I have the team very identical, so obviously for Season 2 it was all Phantoms. So I have a shiny of all of the Phantoms. We have shiny Phantom Withered Golden Freddy, shiny Phantom Foxy, and a lot of shiny amalgams. However, for Phantom Balloon Boy and of course Withered Bonnie, I don't have shiny on them, but I do have Vengeance on them both. So honestly, Vengeance is just going to end up making them perform a lot better anyways. Unless of course if they were shiny and Vengeance. But yeah, their shiny versions are actually pretty pricey. But it doesn't matter because I actually have shiny and Vengeance on the Nightmare, and that is like the important part that everyone wants to see anyways. But yeah, so we have one of every single rarity and they all come from the exclusive presents. These are obviously the next batch of exclusive presents that we are getting, and I will come back to this whole video idea and compare season 3 to season 1 and 2 and see how good that season was. But for now, we only have the Nightmare for season 1 and 2. So yeah, let's go ahead and check them out and see how good they are. Alright, and of course, we are going to be trying out the hardest stage of Fnaf 2 to keep it true to the theme, and let's see how we do. Alright, let's go ahead and try to start off with Freddy here, and see if we can get some damage on this guy right here. Go ahead and place down Foxy whenever I can, maybe like right here, to utilize the range as much as possible. There we go. And he's out of the range. Let's go ahead and auto skip so we can deal with the balloon boys already. And now we just place down the Foxies. Will we do enough damage? Please tell me we can do enough damage. There we go. Now, oh, we were able to kill one at least. That's already like good for us. We're gonna take 2 balloon boys. That should be perfectly fine. Yeah, we won't be taking any more damage. Let's go ahead and skip again. It's just gonna be these Freddys, and we got some extra money. These Freddys are very slow, so I think we'll be able to do a lot of damage to them and thus gain a lot of money. Go ahead and place Withered Freddy here once I get him for him, and there we go. Very strong to have a high DPS character for like around 5,000 placement, because you can place him early on and of course do a lot of damage. And we'll place our third one right there, and then now we might be able to save up for Withered Bonnie and Shadow Bonnie. Shadow Bonnie is our only AoE character in this team, so they're most likely going to be very important. But the DPS is helping out a lot already. I'm gonna see if I can save up for at least Withered Bonnie. Shadow Bonnie is most likely gonna be a lot more of a help though. The only problem with them is that they are not that strong as level 1, but they should still be a lot stronger than all these other characters. Will you kill? Yeah, this Chica will kill. That was a good investment. I think I have to like upgrade this guy now, honestly. Yeah, we're starting to get overwhelmed just a tad. I think maybe this round we might be able to win though. It's gonna be a little close. I think I might have to place Withered Bonnie all the way back here. I don't think we can take the hit from this Withered Golden Freddy. Ooh, maybe you aren't that bad, Withered Chica. Withered Chica was actually able to clutch it up for us right there. And I'm actually just gonna go ahead and put you right here because that should be the best spot, and then hopefully we save up enough for Withered Bonnie here. Withered Bonnie has pretty good range and is still obviously still one of the better characters here. Let's go ahead and put you right there to do some damage to the Golden Freddy. Yeah, that should be just enough. I wanted to place him over here, but I need to make sure that Golden Freddy died. So yeah, I'm pretty positive that this team will beat its own hardest stage of the game. We will see if Fnaf 3 exclusive presents can do that in their own game though, in just a moment. But first, we obviously gotta actually see if this team is strong enough. We're just gonna keep spamming everyone as their level 1. We might as well take this opportunity to see everyone's stats as level 1. So Withered Bonnie, level 1 with Vengeance, is doing 56.3 damage per 0.04 seconds, which is like 1,200 DPS maybe, which is pretty good. I mean, you have to spend quite a good amount to even place them down. Let's actually upgrade these Shadow Bonnies because the range will help out so much. Let's check out their level 1 stats though. They're doing 84.4 damage per 0.04 seconds with a range of 13.5. bad range, but good damage. Doing more damage than even Withered Bonnie, and I think even if Withered Bonnie had Shiny, they still wouldn't do as much damage. But of course, Withered Bonnie has so much more range, but Shadow Bonnie is doing AoE, so they are better. And we gotta, of course, max these guys out to see their full potential. I will go ahead and max out the Shadow Bonnies as soon as possible first, because they will have the best performance and basically carry us. Let's look at everyone else's level 1 stats though. Withered Bonnie is doing 93.8 damage per second, which is pretty solid for what they are. And then Withered Freddy, he's doing 26.3 damage per 0.05 seconds and has the range of 22.5. Also, Withered Foxy has the same range. And that damage per second is like around 500 damage per second or something, which is pretty good. A lot cheaper than Withered Bonnie and is doing like half the damage, which is a very good look for Withered Freddy. But I think their damage will differ quite a lot once they're maxed out. So let's go ahead and actually check right now. And it does, because maxed out Withered Freddy actually is doing a little less damage per second than Withered Bonnie. And the thing is, they have different enchants. I believe Withered Freddy would actually just do more damage per second if he was like non-shiny and had Vengeance. But he would also have a lot less range as well. Right now he has 30 range, but Withered Bonnie actually has 29.7 range. So yeah, Withered Bonnie would have more range though, which is very strong to have a lot of range. Let's go ahead and max out a Withered Bonnie now and see the damage. And they are doing 112.5 damage per 0.04 seconds, which is around like 2,400 damage per second. Very nice, very good. The only thing is it was very expensive to upgrade them. Also, they have 47.3 range. Very good, because they also don't have any range boosters, and that is like one of the highest ranges you can get without range boosters. Let's go ahead and finally max out the Shadow Bonnies though. I'm sure you guys were waiting for that. And Shadow Bonnie maxed out is doing 182.8 damage per 0.04 seconds. Let's go ahead and turn on auto skip so we can finish this soon. And that is around 4,000 damage per second, which is insane. A lot better than like Withered Bonnie, as you can tell. Only thing is, not the best range, 27 range. But since it is AoE, it is still extremely strong. Let's just wait so we can get more money and we can go ahead and max out Withered Foxy, and they are now doing 281.3 damage per 0.75 seconds, which is like around 320 damage per second or something. Pretty good. Here we have Withered Chica, who is doing 234.4 damage per 0.9 seconds, which is like just slightly above its actual damage per second, probably like 260 damage per second. Let's go ahead and sell them and replace them, and their level 1 stats is just 93.8 damage per second. Let's go ahead and actually replace these Shadow Bonnies right here, because next stage will be the boss, and it would be very useful to have the Shadow Bonnies there. And here comes the boss already. Let's see how fast we cook up the boss. We also have a little bit of more enemies that we have to deal with, but I'm pretty sure everyone's got this. We're just gonna go ahead and focus on the boss so we can finish this as soon as possible. And will we do enough damage? They're out of Shadow Bonnie's range. We can just go ahead and sell them and probably just max out this guy. We also have a third placement on him. Let's go ahead and place him. And we can go ahead and place Shadow Bonnie down as well. And yeah, it was basically just Shadow Bonnie doing the damage on the bosses as well. Everyone else was focused on the rest of the enemies that were left over. And we were able to beat it. We were able to beat Fnaf 2, Night 6, Nightmare using the Fnaf 2 team. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out the Fnaf 3 team though, or Season 2 team. And here we have the Season 2 or Fnaf 3 team that directly mirrors the other team that I had. Everyone was shiny besides the secret, and everyone has very good enchants for them. And yeah, let's go ahead and see if they can even beat Fnaf 3 Night 6 on Nightmare mode. All right, we're gonna see if this is even possible on easy. I was thinking like maybe using Foxy as a starter instead, but I don't think it would actually do that much better compared to the Phantom Gold Freddy. But yeah, Amalgam just has way less use compared to Foxy when they first released, and obviously like even now it's just like not that helpful. Look how like not good the slow is. It's just not good enough. Go ahead and place down our Freddies though. We can go ahead and place down the Foxies as well. It'll help out with the DPS a lot. And then upgrading the Foxies will help too. Let's actually place down a Balloon Boy though. The AoE will be very helpful. As you can see, we're gonna get a lot of AoE characters. Place down all of the Balloon Boys. One right here, and then another here. But yeah, once we get to Balloon Boy, we actually stand way more of a chance. Like the only hard part would be like the actual start of Nightmare mode of this. Let's go ahead and just use all of these characters for now, just so we can see how good they are. And look how big the area the new kit actually is. I never really like noticed, but it is very strong. It's gonna go like all the way down to here, huh? Oh yeah, just a big area of splash. Balloon Boy is gonna carry for this part. Balloon Boy still isn't that crazy, just because of his DPS. Like you can see here, he is doing like 1,000 DPS right now per Balloon Boy, which is not that good, especially since he has Vengeance. But like he is doing AoE at least, so there is that. Because like right here we can see that just Phantom Gold Freddy, who is cheaper, is doing 1,000 DPS around that. And then of course he have 4 placements instead of 3, but he doesn't have AoE, so I think Phantom Balloon Boy might still be better. I don't fully know. No, also another thing is that this isn't even like Phantom Gold's Freddy maximum DPS. Like Vengeance, just pure Vengeance on a normal character, like that damage boost is way better than like Withered Shiny, you know? So he would be doing a lot more DPS if he also had just Vengeance, and if we just take off his Shiny. But yeah, let's just cut to the chase. We'll go ahead and place down Springtrap now. Let's look at him. So he's doing 2,812.5 damage per 0.8 seconds. That's around like 3,000 DPS, probably a little higher, and maxed out 5,062.5 every 0.64 seconds with the range of 40.5, and that DPS is like around 9,000, maybe 8,000. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and place down the second one right here. And then Amalgam, yeah, they don't do damage. Let's actually see if there's a difference in the slowing though, since I found out that there was a difference with slowing with Crying Child. So we're gonna put you there, and then we're gonna put the other one right here. We're gonna max out this one, and let's look at how slow they go. It's kind of hard to tell because of the horde. There's like a whole like swarm of them, and then like with him, I can't fully tell, especially since Springtrap is just so extremely good. But yeah, let's take a look at everyone else's stats. But in terms of this team beating this stage in Nightmare mode, like yeah, kind of just no chance. Not enough damage output, and this stage was really hard to begin with anyway, so it's kind of fine that they can't, but they can beat it in easy mode at least, so there's that. Anyways, Phantom Foxy's damage is 150, 15 range, and with a cooldown of 1.25. That is like a little less than the actual damage we see there, like around 125 damage per second. And then here we're basically doing like a little over 500 damage per second. And let's just quickly look at Balloon Boy's level 1 stats. That's his level 1 stats, and then that's his max out stats. Oh, I guess there's also Phantom Gold Freddy, and he's doing damage 312 per 1.1, and compared to this, we already saw his max stats earlier. So yeah, that is season 2's team. Let's go ahead and keep comparing the rarities to each other. Now we're comparing the mythics. I do think this season's mythic is a little bit better. They both actually serve a very similar role of just high DPS with cheap cost. And since Golden Freddy is a little cheaper and does overall more DPS, I do think that makes him a bit better. And then for this season, Secret compared to last season's Secret is actually pretty hard because they're both pretty mid now. But I guess like if you think about how like Withered Body last season was a lot more usable compared to Phantom Balloon Boy this season, like I guess you could say Withered Body. But also like I do think Phantom Balloon Boy does end up being more useful than Withered Body this season because of the whole nuking ability, which the nuking radius is very nice, but it is mostly for the splash damage, and splash damage does end up being a lot better to use compared to a single target. But I guess like you could say that Withered Bonnie is still a lot more useful in like Endless or something, which is true. So it really depends on which mode you play. Like if you're playing story mode, you really should just use Balloon Boy instead. But if you're playing endless, just use Withered Bonnie. So I think that just makes them both pretty equal. And so that I guess that will be our first tie. Now for Springtrap versus Shadow Bonnie. I think it's pretty obvious that Springtrap does end up being better, but I do like the whole comparing like who was better for their respective season. I guess we didn't completely do that for these two. Phantom Foxy is for sure like just a better character, but also I think they were a lot more of a help for new players getting the rare compared to Withered Chica back then. Withered Chica actually was a help for new players, but they're just not that much better than the free characters they can get from the summons. But like compared to this season, obviously he is a lot stronger than the summon characters, and in terms of helping people out in the story mode, yeah, he also helps out a lot more. And then Epic Amalgam, I've heard people say that they've found use in Amalgam, but especially since Crying Child is a thing now too, and honestly Withered Foxy was a huge help back then. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure Withered Foxy just overall had more usefulness compared to Amalgam, even though Amalgam with the slow is like a pretty like rare ability. We also still had Toy Bonnie, so like it wasn't like, even for that niche of needing a slow character, people probably just would rather use Toy Bonnie instead anyways. And we already compared these two, and now for Springtrap versus Shadow Bonnie. Springtrap is just obviously better right now than Shadow Bonnie, but in terms of being helpful for each of the respective season, we can also, for these guys, we can compare how good they ended up being compared to everyone else in the game on their release. Like for Shadow Bonnie, they were easily just the best character in the game, but for Springtrap, I think he actually, interestingly enough, has competition. So I think that does technically make him worse this season for like the whole being useful and whatnot, but he's obviously still better, and he's still top 3 or something. And in terms of helping people out, I think they're both very close, but I do think that probably Shadow Bonnie, because Glitch Puppeteer exists, and Glitch Puppeteer is like the one who's like competing with Springtrap this season, and it's just, you can just tell like it was so much easier to get Glitch Puppeteer, and Glitch Puppeteer does have less value in terms of trading for souls than like PBB last season. Now you can trade for Springtrap. They're both like equal, I believe, around like 3k. And then like there wasn't really anyone else doing what Shadow Bonnie was doing. So in terms of who was more helpful on release, I do think it does end up going to Shadow Bonnie, but Springtrap is close. And of course, in terms of who's actually better right now, then it would be Springtrap. And then of course, like who's better right now with everyone else. Balloon Boy and Withered Bonnie are pretty tied. Phantom Gold Freddy is just better. Amalgam is just worse, and then Phantom Foxy is just better. So yeah, still fair comparison overall, because it is always possible for a future season to just end up having a worse character in one of the rarities compared to like older seasons. Anyways, that was a lot of yapping, but very informative. I hope that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.